the first radio that did that sweeping through the whole broadcast, AM or FM, for the idea of fragmenting the broadcast vocals so spirits could move them around and make words, which, if you actually analyze that for a minute, is almost implausible. But before that ever existed in Europe, with EVP as we record voices out here. So EVP researchers, well, the last of whom is left alive now, the original pioneers who mentored me into this, they started using white noise from running water, rain, fan, but mostly from a radio on a vacant channel. And from that, the voices said they would start coming through the radio, and they did. It was called direct radio voice. So the whole sweeping ghost box thing, that's the predominant thing you see on TV, that was an American-made tradition, an American-made idea construct that was not the best method ever found. But in America, if something's not on TV, it doesn't exist.
Because they used the radio, but they weren't using the radio on radio stations. They were just using it in a barren channel and using the white noise.
Right. Because they knew the white noise was integral to the process, but they didn't realize, like I said, in what way. And so the sweeping ghost box idea to us, now that we've been doing this for a while, wasn't a progression. It was a derailment. It was an alternative. It was definitely not better than direct radio voice. These people were having conversations through white noise in an old vacuum tube radio.
And plus, Frank first did it to contact aliens anyway.
Oh, Frank Sumption?
Yeah.
Yeah, the original sweeping ghost box.
original
Yeah.
ones, yeah.
So I'll let you hear it before we do it.
Do we need to put our phones on airplane mode?
No.
No, but I'm glad you asked that too, because anything you had, any questions at the end, feel free to ask. There are a lot of these things that are passed down to the paranormal, these beliefs that have no foundation, but we're just like, most people don't probably know why Thanksgiving has a turkey, but they just do it because that's the tradition. Our field has tons of that stuff, so we try to speak to it if we can, to maybe add some clarity, maybe change methods so you can be more successful in what you're doing. So it doesn't matter. What I will encourage you to do if you have any kind of device like that, record. Because you're going to hear voices in real time. You don't have to do it yet, because I'll show you a little demo video, and then Steve will speak about what we're doing. But definitely record. You're going to hear stuff in real time, but you'll always find extra stuff when you go home. And then that way your adventure's only half over tonight. When you go, you have something else still yet to do. You'll find stuff on a recording. You go like, how in the hell did I miss that? It's supremely clear. It'll happen. Somebody next to you goes, and you look, and in a second something came through, you didn't hear it. It's that easy. So I will show you a quick little thing for the digital seance, which is what we're going to do, just to give you an idea of what you're in for, what we're going to do. So record if you can, and then when we do it, I'll remind you later too. If you hear something, feel free to call it out.
I say, before we play the video,
Mm-hmm.
let's explain to them. I've been with Staticom, these guys, since they started. I've seen this thing progress. I'm working on it. This is something they work with Tony, and this is like
Sheree.
But if
Yeah.
you're rapping,
yeah, it happens out there. So they're in Arizona, I believe, right?
Yep.
So they've been working with them on this whole project. I just been
An observer.
observer and watch how they do it and give us some ideas and stuff like that. There's no radio attached to the system. There's no broadcast coming through this at all. You want to show them what it actually sounds like?
No word banks or anything.
Yeah, no
Just
bank,
white
it's just
noise.
white noise. So
Being
when you turn your
filtered.
TV back in the day on channel 3, something just got that's all this is, but we're getting voices through that.
right.
It's been filtered now.
The difference
Slow
between
down.
the TV and this, so the TV still receives the signal, this doesn't. These are generators, not sleep machines.
Yeah.
Sleep machines are white noise, have pre-recorded white noise on the chip port. This is literally the oscillations that you hear, the white noise are being made here. They go through an interface, and then everything that people do with audio and the paranormal, they record it, those spots or whatever, they take it home. They put it in software. They denoise it to clean it up. They slow it down. They amplify it, and then they ship. We're doing all that stuff right now in real time. Because if you want to have a conversation, if you want to ask questions, when you go home and clean it up, it's too late. So that was part of the magic of what we did with Staticom. We removed the radio as white noise source, which is why we call it Staticom and not direct radio voice. And we were the first ones to slow down the flow of live white noise.
Like that.
So it doesn't receive any signal, it cannot record. All we're using, so you'll hear voices in the demo, you'll see a couple of clips. And then when you hear it later on, when we run it live, all we're using is this.
But you're not.
That's all we're using. And the reason we use a generator, because you can produce voices with a sleep machine, you can do it. You can do it with the recording of water, of wind from a fan, or even the radio. But the problem is all those have variations in the white noise. Like a radio can get an atmospheric spike, wind, velocity picks up. You got things that cause spikes. This is at a constant. So every frequency that a human can hear, 20 hertz to 20,000, anything a human can hear, this makes. And it's all at the same amplitude, same volume, all of it. So when it's quiet and then you hear voices or what sounds like talking emerge from it, it shouldn't be there.
And since it's recorded white noise, like when it's recorded, you run into the possibility that they'll imprint voices in there and then you can't use it anymore, which is why we don't use the white noise machine, because that actually happened to our partner. He used a white noise machine and the words were imprinted in the chipboard and he couldn't use that machine anymore.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that we generate white noise in real time so it's not recorded, because in recordings, you can also get stuff imprinted in there.
Right.
I don't know if that would be anything.
Or software programs and generate, they may you will not hear that.
And there is no data in white noise at all. So we shouldn't hear anything.
Right. That's all there is. And
But you got-
it's being created live. So, all right. So this is just a little teaser trailer for what we're going to do tonight and what we do all over, with the medium being this method.
Dean wants to come through and say it one more time, earlier, did she okay to do what?
The seance goes back to centuries ago, where people gathered around with the common goal of communicating with those on the other side of life, beyond the veil, whatever you want to call it. Religions, I mean, there's always a gathering and a communion with those on the other side. So the Digital Seance Initiative is exactly that, it's just in the present day, with the technology that we have. And being able to reach across the veil with this technology, bring forth these messages from spirit, it's simply amazing.
I feel like it's gonna be good tonight, because I feel like crying, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I feel like crying.
I feel that too.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And they were, while we went,
For clarity, I'll let Steve speak to part of it. For clarity of it, our partners in Arizona are Tony and Sheree Rathman. He built ghost boxes for 12, 13 years. For 2.5 years since they became part of this project, he hasn't touched one. And he built them. But he never sold them, which is what I loved about what he did, because he was purely about the research part of it. So Tony's your friend came through 3 days after I showed him how to do this. Hey,
When he
Lawrence,
wasn't-
it's your son. That's my mother.
And he wasn't, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, when he got the Tony's here, he wasn't getting the voices, like he was getting a few, but once we got Tony, is Tony's your friend, I'm asking, and he confirmed, his voices spiked.
It didn't work for him until I was
Yeah.
like, it was like they were vetting him
Yeah.
because he was doing what we were doing. If they heard that Tony's your friend, I was like, Tony's my friend? And then the female goes, yes. And then I was thinking, why would they make a statement like that? And then she goes, I'm asking. Which was really interesting, because that was what I was thinking, was why would they say that? And then they said, in other words, is he your friend? And then his scene started taking off. That other one I had asked for my mother, she passed in 2019. And we've asked her a few times. And the voice said, hey, Florence, it's your son. So, and that's all from that white noise that you heard. The fishing, you want to tell them about fishing?
I was gonna tell them about the other thing after they said, your friend, that Steve's your mentor.
I didn't get some.
That was in the video, right? I mean,
The fishing one?
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah. I was concentrating. But working with these guys on this, we've done several here at the courthouse, in the back room there. And one thing I said, Ron, 20 days, I think it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, we're up there. Last night we were up till 3 o'clock this morning doing this. I asked, my mother, so my mom has passed, so I asked her, she said, what did she used to do with me on weekends? And Ron asked, and it came right up and said fishing, which my mom came through. So you got that. So.
I usually watch it.
Yeah. You were quiet about it, so I was at the door with them.
Like everybody, I don't wanna miss anybody.
Now we're streaming live right now.
Yes, you are.
Where are we streaming? So we can.
We are on the Paranormal Unplugged YouTube page and Facebook page right now.
Cool. Can you
And I-
share that to our page?
Yes, sir.
And I actually shared it out to 9 other groups that I belong to. So it's going over to London too.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, for the folks watching in London, if they're watching now, we can mention it again. Gordon and I will be in the UK, in Northampton at Bosworth Hall in about 2 weeks at Festival of the Unexplained. We were asked, Daryl Marston from the reboot of Ghost Hunters was over there last year. And they're like, what's going on in the States? Anybody we should look at, bring over? He mentions us. They start watching our stuff and they call us and go, you guys want to come over here? So we're going over to do the lecture presentation that we do on idealist philosophy in Staticom and present and the whole thing. So we're going to be there for like 4 or 5 days.
Just don't drink the water.
Probably.
Bottled water, that's it. That's what you do.
So yeah, for the folks who may be watching from the UK, we'll be there.
Where you said it was mine? I'm sorry.
It's on our YouTube page and it's also on Paranormal Unplugged Facebook page.
Unplugged.
Unplug, we got Paramount plug.
We had to plug.
We unplugged.
We're unplugged.
Unplug. Don't unlisten.
So what we're gonna go over tonight is, we're gonna try talking to the spirit of why I passed away, why I came back, why I got the message I got. What is my purpose? And so we're gonna ask everyone to be quiet, just listen. At the end of this whole thing we're gonna do tonight, you will be able to ask questions and see if one of your loved ones come through, but hold off on that until we get through all this. That's the only thing we're gonna ask, because there's some answers I've been waiting for a long time to get. And this has been a long wait to even do this. I am working with these guys. You're gonna hear bits, I call like bits coming through with words. I am working with Doris and Ron and Tony. These guys are gonna be working with them soon on more technology, bigger companies to go through to see if we can clear this up to where you're gonna hear words in the back, but you're not gonna be able to make them out. And that's what I wanna work on with them, with the technology of getting those words in sentences crystal clear. Some sentences are gonna come right through here that are gonna be crystal clear. You're gonna be shocked when you hear it. What the heck? You're gonna hear some vulgar language too.
Yeah.
That you'll hear, you heard that last night. So, just a little more on that though. So is there anyone in my story what happened? I'll tell you what happened to me. In 2014, I started having like palpitations in my heart. And I went to the hospital several times. They said, sleep apnea, or restless leg syndrome and stuff like that. But then veins started popping out in my legs. Started on my left leg first, and then started working on my right leg. Where these veins are just popping out. And it's like, I go to the hospital. I said, "Oh, you have varicose veins." 50 some years, only 53 or 52 at the time. Only 52. I didn't have varicose veins yet. Oh no, you can get them at any age and all this if you want some. Several hospitals I went to, same thing, restless syndrome, leg syndrome, this, that. So I go for a stress test. And that was in New Jersey. They put me on a stress test. They have me run the treadmill, then they lay you down, and they do an ultrasound around your heart. Well, the doctor comes in, he says to me, you passed the ultrasound, but you failed the treadmill test. So what do I do next? He goes, oh, just go home, take baby aspirin, because the ultrasound, I don't see anything wrong with your heart.
Somebody's just been walking up and down the hall, just so you guys can keep an eye.
That is wrong. There's no one else.
Somebody's been watching.
So just keep an eye here.
So, they're probably coming ready to visit. Anyway, so I go home and, do the baby aspirin check with them. Actually, with TV, after I was thinking 325 there, I'm on my trust. So, time goes by, legs are getting worse, the veins are popping. And Pam was down here. We were dating at the time, and we were looking to get a house down here. So we were shopping, and she was sending me houses from down here, and I'm looking at the internet. So I told her, "Wait, you look by me." She was, "Oh no, I ain't looking at the book." Yeah. So we started looking down here, and the funny thing was, I was with my daughter was looking at me, and I said, I was running around the house with Pam on the phone. I said, "You know what's really weird?" She goes, "What?" So when I run, all those veins that pop on my leg go away. She goes, "Well, you got to tell your cardiologist that." Telling me this. I'm like, all right, well, so I'm running around the house. I said, I'm jumping over tables, coffee tables. My daughter thinks I'm a nutcase, right? And I stop. I go, now look. And I put FaceTime. I said, look, the veins are gone. She says, that's really weird. And my daughter says, you got to get off the phone. We're having dinner. I'm like, oh, okay, Mom, So I get off the phone. I tell Pam I'll call her back afterwards. And I go to eat. And when I went to eat the mashed potatoes and chicken, I couldn't eat. I put it in my mouth. It tasted weird. I couldn't swallow. So I got up from the table, and my daughter goes, "What's wrong?" I said, "I just don't feel like eating right now." And she goes, "Well, you're just running around crazy like a nut in the house, And I said, "No, it's not that." So I got in my room. I took my blood pressure. It was 127/72. That's normal. I had to walk. There was baby aspirin on my dresser. Something told me, go take 2 of those. And they were at 325, so I'm like, okay. So I two of them, I went back. Now my daughter's gone. She's nowhere to be found. She went to her room. She had a boyfriend over. She's a full adult, but so I can't say, hey, he can't be in your room. But anyway, so I sit down and go to eat again, and all of a sudden I get this pressure in my ears. Like I went down. You ever go down into a pool really deep, and you get that pressure, and you're like, oh, I'm too deep, you know? So I felt that, and I got up and walked to the room, and I knocked on her door, and she goes, what? She said, oh my God, Dad, you're turning blue. I said, I got pressure in my ears. I think I'm having a heart attack. And she goes, I'm going to call Pam. So she calls Pam, and Pam goes, call 911. Don't call me. So she calls 911, and Pam says, I'm on my way. I'm going to shoot up. She was in Gettysburg. Now, needless to say, it was March 31st, 2015. Day before April Fool's. Everyone thought that someone on Facebook thought it was pulling a joke. It wasn't pulling a joke because I am a jokester. But yeah, I had that pressure in my ears, and she calls for an ambulance. When she calls, we would live down this real dippy spot in Poconos, really, between two mountains and stuff like that. So we're like told to holler, like you get a signal, you don't get a signal, sometimes. Now it's blizzard outside. 7 inches of snow. We have already on my deck. My daughter calls and they go, 911. She goes, yeah, my dad's having a heart attack. And they go, well, where are you located at? And she goes, I'm at, and her phone goes,
Oh, no.
so you couldn't make this shit, this stuff up. So that goes out, and she's like, I'm gonna call, and keep calling back. She's calling, it won't go through. So about 15 minutes start going by, and all of a sudden it felt like someone took a blowtorch. I'm telling you. So whenever you have a heart attack and you just feel a little pain, that is usually gas. I tell you, if you're gonna have a heart attack, you're gonna know you have a heart attack, because I'll tell you what it feels like. It's like taking 5,000 big lighters and putting them to your chest. That's what it felt like when your heart stopped. It just burned so bad that I just doubled over like this. My daughter's going, oh my God, you're turning gray. And that's the worst thing you say to someone as you're having a heart attack, and now you got really panic. But it burnt so bad, I just felt like this, and all of a sudden it just went gone. And I was like, she goes, oh, your color's coming back. You're starting, I can see you're starting to turn pinkish. I'm like, oh God, what the hell was that? So she's still trying to call. 20 minutes. So all of a sudden her boyfriend goes, listen, they're not here in a few minutes. She goes, I'm taking it myself. Believe me, someone's having a heart attack. Do not drive them. Stay put. Don't drive them. You will kill them. There's nothing you can do in a car to save them. You're driving and they're dying. You can't pull over. You ain't gonna save them. So the best thing is waiting, keep them calm. You have baby aspirin in the house. Give them baby aspirin and give them up to 3. Doctors in my cardiologist told me on that I'm allowed to say, because it is in the books and you look at it. Give them 1, 2, and then if you have to give them a third one, give them a third one. You don't go give them nitroglycerin that you have in your pocket or something like that. So you don't know, because I'll explain why in a minute why you don't do that. But the baby aspirin is fine. So all of a sudden we hear in the distance, my daughter goes, oh my God, they're coming. They pinged her phone. They got to the house. They get in the house. They fire me off. Call these fires. They go, Steve, how you feeling? I said, I feel all right now. I said, you going to describe what happened? I told him. And he goes, well, you have a heart attack. It's showing up right on here. Can you get up? You feel like you can get up? And I said, yeah, because some people have heart attacks and they can still, do. So as soon as I stood up, my heart started to stop. So I sat back down, and they got the gurney in. Now, don't forget, we have 7 inches of snow. It's like whiteout conditions outside. They get me in the ambulance, and my daughter hops in with them. She goes, where are you bringing them to Bon Secours? So I lived at the corner of Milford, PA, is at the corner of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York. It's that whole corner up there. So he goes to me, she goes, where are you taking the Bon Secours Hospital, which is in Port Jervis, New York, which is only like 20 minutes from my house. It's no, he won't survive. We have to take him to Scranton. Now I hear Scranton in my head. I'm in the back of the ambulance. Oh shit, it's 55 minutes, 60 minutes, and it's snowing. So we start out the driveway and get right onto the main road. And he goes, Steve, open your mouth. He sprays me with nitro. So my heart stopped. Now, that's why I say you don't give someone nitro, because this is what happened to me. He did not know that my heart, from going through all that episode, I developed instant blood clots. 2 blood clots shot up to my body somewhere, lodged on top of the Widowmaker I already had, which I had 90% clogged or 99% clogged right artery in my heart. So that landed those 2 blood clots. So that's the Widowmaker times 3 now. No one's ever survived. No, there's no record except for me. Lucky me. So they shot me back the first time. As soon as he gave me that, I blacked out. And when you black out, when your heart stops, what happens? You feel it come up to the back of your spine, comes up the front of your head, and when it reaches here, lights out. And you can feel it coming, like right up. It's so quick. So you ever stand up really fast and you go, whoa, and you guys get back down? That's that feeling. That's exactly what it is. But imagine having that when you're laying down, you didn't move. You just feel that feeling coming. That's what it is. So I blacked out. When I blacked out the first time and actually died in the ambulance, they shocked me back. I remember when I died, it was like opening a photograph book back in my time, not just, well, everyone's in our time now. But you open up, remember you used pictures in it? So you go, your parents have these books that have all these pictures in them. You flip it, and I'm flipping it. Went back, it's probably about as far as I remember, about 7, 8 years old, where I pretty much remember where to start. And then it went and showed me my dogs I had, and cars and stuff like that. And the pages started going faster, faster, faster. And I could say everything was a blur. And I woke up, and 2 paramedics were holding me down. They go, whoa, 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 calm down. We just brought you back. Well, they were shocking me. Now, how do you think they shot you? Does anyone know? Anyone know? How? No, what you used to? Yeah, you're right, correct. You're almost correct. They go from here to your back. All right, so right front and back of your heart. They don't do like you see on TV. They used to. They shot you this way. So a shock like that got me back. We got halfway down to Scranton and calling on the radio. We need lifeline here. Couldn't talk. Gets me. Yeah, because that happened. But anyway, they couldn't fly me, so I died 2 more times in the ambulance, and then when they got me to the hospital, I'll never forget it. I get in there. There's a doctor in there, and they didn't know this, and I'll start like this. Yeah, I think I get in the hospital, and they wheel me in, and there's a whole crew there waiting for us. Whole crew waiting for us. And we made it, thank God. And there's a doctor called Dr. Greenspan here. Because I'm Dr. Greenspan. I said, whatever you do, don't let me die. You're not going to die in my watch, I promise you. I never forgot that. So he died right in front of me. Right at that point, he said, you're not going to die in front of me. And I died. Then I woke up, and they're cutting my shirt off. And they're still shocked me. They will shock me every 10 seconds. You're shocked. I come back to life, then I die. And I come back to life and die. Come back to life. So they were getting me in the hallway. My daughters are there now. And they read me my last rites. So when they read that, it was like, game over. Yeah. So I go down the hallway, and then I wasn't here no more. I remember nothing after that. I was up there. I was up in heaven, like I said. Up in heaven. When I was up there, it was weird because I remember the girl cutting my shirt off. And when I got up there, I'm walking around. Now, when you walk around, everything's gray. It's a gray area, like, I forgot the color, shades, even like that. It's just a gray area. There's no trees, there's nothing. No matter where you look, you can't tell judgment. You can't see far. Can't judge nothing. Everything looks the same above you. But when you walk, it would ripple. Like, you ever skim a stone in a pond and makes those rings? So I tap my foot, and these little rings would go out, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. As soon as I put my foot down, they go real quick right back. So, you see Jesus walk on water? That was really weird. I'm thinking, am I walking on water? What am I walking on? So you don't know what's wrong. But then again, you don't know you're dead. So everyone fears, right? What's everyone fearing? Here, when you're on earth, when you fear, your
Yeah,
most
no.
fear is what's gonna happen when I die.
Yeah.
You will feel that down the road. Yeah, a lot of people think about that. You know what happens to me when I die? Well, I'll tell you what, you don't die. Your energy, your whole body's energy, you don't die. And I experienced that. So what happened was I had that, and then the weird thing was I had my wristwatch on, which I haven't wear to this day since that I had that experience. The band was there, the round part of the watch, the dial, but the arms and the numbers weren't there. It was my skin. So there's no sense of time up there. So, but again, I knew who I was, but Pam, everyone, my kids, never existed. It never came to my mind. Time was nothing. It's like you're reborn. But I'll warn you now, you are judged. You do feel you're being judged. That you can tell. You can tell that someone's looking at you, someone's judging you right now. You can feel it. But you also feel this nice, warm, loving feeling. Everyone's, oh, what's it like? You can't describe it. That's why if you go to anyone that's ever had near-death experience, say, what's that feeling? They'll tell you, I can't describe it because it's so amazing. There's no words here to actually put into the emotion that comes through and it hits you. So I saw that, and then I saw these little watery figures running around. And I'm like, cool, what are these figures? So I'm going to touch them. And like, you can't touch nothing up there. I found that out before you. See, everyone asked me, did you get to the gates? Never made that far. This is, I think I was in the judgment stage. What are we going to do with this guy? Where are we going to let him through? Are we going to keep him up here? Or are we going to send him back for a reason? And that's why we're doing static comment, to find out why I was sent back and why I didn't go totally through. So that's part of the reason. So these little watery figures were running around and can't touch them. I said, come here, talk to me. And it was like Jim and his wife talking at the same time and saying the same words exactly perfectly. So it's like a girl and a guy's voice. It's really weird. And they said, we're not allowed to talk to you. And they giggle and they run. And I'm like, saying to myself, well, heck with this, I'm going to go a different direction. So now, remember, you have no sense of direction. So the only thing I think of is, put my feet together and just turn and go in the opposite direction. And I started walking and I just kept walking. And there's no sense of time, so you don't know how long you walk, but you're looking around hoping something will pop up. And I came into this area and all of a sudden I started seeing, it's like a fog, like wings started popping up. And it was just such a wing, no body in between them. Just these little wings floating all over the place, big wings, small wings, they're all over the place, thousands of them. And I go, oh, neat. And I want to touch the feathers, and no touching. So just like, you can't touch me, get on that fast. So I stood there for a while, and then all of a sudden, it was like your eye socket would turn it long ways. And it was just like this. And it came at me, and it stopped probably from the distance I would say is from here to the sidewalk outside. And there was just a light, calm light. Not that big, bright light. Oh, this was a big, bright light. It came at me, and I didn't go to the light. Carolyn, I'm going to listen to that. It was this calming light, and it opened up, and there was this tall, skinny figure in it. Didn't see the face, didn't see nothing, just a dark shadow. And I'm looking at it, and it says, I come to you. It said this directly to me. And I want to remember this. I explained when this was said to me, it was implanted in my head. And I'll explain when I get to it. I'll say it first, and I'll explain to you what I try to do. But it said to you, I come to you because you believe me. You're a part of me, my kingdom. Let them know I'm with each and every one of you. My love never dies. Now go. And I go to myself, go where? And I'm saying to myself, go where? I'm not saying anything out loud. The only thing I think of is turn my back to this subject and walk away. And I did that. And next thing you know, I wake up, I'm in the cat lab, and I see a pink mask and a blue mask looking down at me. And they're saying, Steve, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Give us a sign. And then, boom, I'm back upstairs again. In that mist again. I hear the voice say, I told you to go. I'm like, well, I didn't ask to come back. What happened? So next thing you know, back down, I'm back down my body, and I'm looking, and there's a pink mask and blue mask, and they're going, Steve, please give us a sign. And I gave him 2 thumbs up. Never forget. And I just went like this, and they were all clapping. You know, I hear cheering and everything else. So the funny thing is, I wake up next thing, leave that room. I don't remember leaving that room. I just remember they got their answer they wanted, and I guess I blacked out again from the surgery. And I wake up, and I'm in ICU, and I wake up to, does anyone know Flip Searles?
Yes.
And Flip is holding my hand. And I'm like, I wake up, I'm going, and he goes, dude, you made it. And I'm like, and I have all these tubes, I can't talk, there's a machine breathing for me and everything else. So I'm like, all these, M's is the right word for it. Intubated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had that and all these wires, and I look around the room, my daughters are in the room, our film crew's in the room, they're filming me. And I'm like, how did these guys all get in ICU? Because ICU, you're only allowed family members. I don't know how still this day, how they all got in there. She comes walking. On top of it, now there's like 10 people in my room. And she comes in, and she know if I was gonna be alive or dead when she got there. She drove all the way up the highway. And I'm sure she couldn't call my phone because I didn't have it. So I don't know if she got a hold of anyone or not. But she comes in there, and then Pam doesn't have a touch of phones. So she came in, and I never forget this. She was sitting there, and she goes, oh my God, thank God you're here. And then she played with something, and she made an alarm go off on one of my machines. It's running up, and he hits it. He hits the button, but and gets the alarm off. And then the nurse comes in, and my daughter, I was talking to my trainer, talking to my daughter. I said, give me like pen and paper. She goes, I need a pen or paper or pencil or something. My father wants to write something. The nurse says, he can't write. He's all like, wires going in and everything else. And she goes, he's all drugged up. He doesn't know what he's doing. She goes, oh no, I know my dad knows what he's doing. And I wanted to write that message to him. I said, but I never forgot. It planted in my head so I wouldn't forget. So I wrote down on the paper angels to her. She should still have that paper today. And I handed it to her. And she goes, angels? You saw angels? And I said, yeah. And then next thing you know, they're going, come on, everyone out of the room, everyone out, everyone's got to leave now, enough's enough. And this nurse was really, really nasty. And Pam goes, she goes, you're his girlfriend? She goes, yeah, come on, married time. She goes, you can stay. Pam goes, oh, I ain't going nowhere. They go, well, if you fall asleep, you're going to be out of here. Pam goes, I'm a ghost. He put me, I'm going to sleep. So Pam stayed there, and then they gave another, that slept, another nurse came in and gave her a chair. And that nurse was really nice and let I'm not going to let you sit in a chair for a second. They put a recliner in there. So she stayed with me. Don't know what happened to her, because the next thing I know, when the next time I woke up, I wasn't in that room no more. I was in my regular room. And the funny thing about being in my regular room, I wake up now, my friend Anthony's at the end of the bed. And he's like, dude, you made it, you did it. And I'm looking, and I see people constantly like peeking into my room. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Now I feel fine, all the tubes are out of me, I'm breathing on my own. And I look over at my nightstand, there's a card. And I thought it was a card from Pam. So I pick the card up and I read it. And it says, Steve, I came to see you, but I didn't want to wake you. He goes, I told you would not pass away in my watch. Dr. Reed. What your doctor comes to your room on the 6th floor of a hospital and finds you and brings a card to you and goes out and even gets you a card. So I'm sitting in the room, and 2 doctors, everyone's peeking in, 2 doctors come in, and he goes, I'm Dr. Lowen. And he goes, I'm the lead cardiologist. He goes, we worked so hard on you, and you made it. He goes, you were without oxygen for 7 minutes. So you should have brain damage. And you don't. He goes, the amazing thing is you only have 2% heart damage. And he goes, you wouldn't believe what we worked on. He goes, no broken ribs. He goes, and we were compressing you. The guy that was compressing you was like a weightlifter. And he goes, how you didn't break your ribs? We have no clue why you have no problem. We thought we broke all your ribs. Definitely working on you all the way up to the cap. He goes, I gotta ask you something. I go, what? And what we're gonna ask me is, what did you see? And we're saying, why are you asking me that? He goes, the whole time I was working on your heart, you were talking to me. And I said, what the? He goes, well, I'll see you, and I gotta do my rounds. He goes, I can't sit here and talk about this. He goes, but I'm gonna do my rounds. And he goes, well, you'll see me in about a month and a half. Come in and we'll talk about it. I said, great. So he leaves, and as he starts going up the door, I said, Doc. He goes, what? I said, I gotta ask you something. He goes, what? I said, who's the female cardiologist that was working on me? Is she here? He goes, now you're freaking me out. How do you know there's a female cardiologist in the room? I said, because I saw a blue mask and a pink mask in the cath lab. He goes, there's no way you saw that. He goes, you're really freaking me out now. I said, why? He goes, because we put cotton over your eyes and we tape your eyes totally with pads around them. So if you wake up during heart surgery from anesthesia, you don't freak out and we're in your heart. He goes, so there's no way you saw that. Those pads were still over your eyes. I said, she was on this side, you were on this side. He goes, you're correct. He goes, I'm getting out of here until I get freaked out. So he leaves, and then I thought I was in the hospital, so I was still drugged up, I guess. How many days were in there? 5 days? 6 days?
Something like that.
Something like that, but I felt to me it was like only 2 days. I get out of there, and then I made the mistake of the month and a half going to see the doctor. I go walk into the office. It's Dr. Long. He says, hey, how you doing? You look good. You got good color to you and everything else. And I said, you know what we talked about in the hospital? Oh, yeah. Well, I asked you. I said, yeah. I said, what did I say to you? He goes, why? Why do you want to know that? I said, because I want to write a book. He goes, I don't want to be no book. So he wouldn't tell me. To this day, he never told me. So this is why we're trying to go through Staticom. One of the reasons why I wanted to try to get answers, because he wouldn't tell me. So the only other way I can do it is hypnotism. So, yes, hypnotized. But then again, I was told by hypnotists too, that can trigger your heart condition. Because not only you living back the memory, you're living back the vitals. So it can stir your heart back up to those vitals. So that's a little scary decision.
Yeah.
And I don't think especially with what I'm going through still today. For our ablations, have a Watchman in my heart. A Watchman is when your heart, I'm a test subject for you. So when your heart is formed in your body, you have a little valve that your heart, actually from mommy and everything else starts forming. There's a valve, and the heart builds off that valve. When your heart's fully pumping on its own, it's a baby while you're forming. That cuts the body just cuts that off and stops that supply. Now the body has enough blood on its own, the baby, to keep forming and pump on its own. So when the heart's beating and stuff like that, now the heart's fully formed enough that it can work on its own. So that valve is no longer used. What happens is when you have AFib, which I have AFib, that's when your heart slows down and races and slows down and races and it feels like you ran a marathon. Your body will clot from the heart's not beating right. So what happens is that blood goes into that pocket, that old little pocket that was formed in your heart. So what the Watchman does, it plugs that like a plug. Put that in there. And so when your heart's not beating right, blood can't go into that pocket and cause a stroke. Because what happens if clot forms, you come back, you're doing good, your heart's back to regular rhythm, that clot lets loose, goes to your brain, causes an instant stroke, you're dead. So you survived the heart, now the stroke kills you. So I'm a test subject for that. It's been 8 years now with that in me and working good. So I've been needed a lot of time. Like I said, for heart ablations, try to stop it. My heart to this day is lately has been trying to go back in the AFib. So it's playing games with me. Which I might get caps soon. They may go in and see if my stents clog again or whatever. But I'm going on vacation before that happens. So we're doing that. We're gonna do it after I come back. But anyway, that's what we're going to do with that. We're going to ask questions. Sit tight, please listen. You may hear stuff I don't hear. You hear an answer, just when you heard something you think you heard, pretty much we'll all hear it. But if you think you heard something, don't be afraid to raise your hand and I'll just point at you and say, "What- I just heard this." Because sometimes I might not hear it, they may not hear it, someone else might hear it over there. But like I said, we're all energy, what I found out in this is you don't die when you die. You just move on to now, I don't know, you become rebirthed down the road. You may be rebirthed on the other side of the world. And now remember this, you may not be in the USA no more. You might be in Africa. You could be anywhere else. But I think sort of to me, that's what happens. I think you just start right over from scratch and you don't remember any of this. It's totally erased, but you don't. You don't want. And so we're going to turn this on. Unless Ron, you want to go, you have anything you want to say to him?
No, I just, what you said is good. If you point at somebody, if you raise your hand, if you heard something, by all means say it. It's very easy to do, but try not to have that lead into a conversation. And conversations, little pockets of talk will break out, and then other stuff that might be relevant is coming through, and you miss it. It turns into a conversation about what happened yesterday, and so just, yeah, we're just trying to listen more than we talk so that we hear.
The more, every time this is the third time I've done this, or fourth time I've done this lecture on this. I don't do it that often for the reason I sort of live it through it. So it's very emotional what you go through, and then you have these answers. So this may help me get answers and help me figure out what happened to me, why I'm back, to make me feel better, and then I won't get emotional when I do something. I was sent back for a reason. So that's all we can figure out right now. We've asked questions last night about that. We get yes, we were sent back for a reason, but we don't know what the reason is. So we're going to try to find out. I'll be asking the questions. Ron and Liz will be asking questions too. If I can get answered and we say repeat it, because they may answer them because this is their project and the spirits are used to them and the answer usually answer me, because when these guys are down there at an event and I walk in, I just peek in the room and Ron will say, or Liz will say, "Who's at the door?" "Steve, come right over." Yeah, they say who I am.
Steve, yeah.
They'll say they were happening right at the match. They were doing their thing. I peeked in the room. I waved. Runs the shoes out the door. Right over. So you'll hear. So I'm ready when you are.
Okay.
We're gonna start this up, and you should hear something right away.
Yeah, there'll be an initial burst of sound into the speaker.
You're gonna jump.
I'll kill it. Yeah, don't let it freak you out. It's just because the white noise is first rushing through, so before the filtration that makes it quiet gets to do anything, it's a little sucker punch the system throws first. But it is short-lived. Then I'll make it. Record stuff. Yeah, so by all means record it. If you don't record and you want a copy of the recording, you can let us know.
Yeah, you can put your phones on record. You have a recorder on your phones, and
Just remember, if you're recording, that the microphone is probably closer to the bottom of your phone. So if you're holding it with the bottom of the phone next to your shirt, you may record the ruffling of your shirt more than the voices in the room. So, all right, and you heard the white noises before, so you know what you're in for. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so this is your rodeo now. All right. So that said, this is very cool that everybody came out to be a part of this. Maybe we'll get some answers beyond fishing.
Get behind the fishing, definitely. I want to see if I get answers to the doctor when you tell me.
All right, so welcome.
Two-step.
He has to do that. If it gets chirpy, I'll start it. Hello.
Yeah.
So did you hear us speaking before we started this? You know who we're going to be getting information for? Who is this session about?
Yeah.
Steve's gonna ask you questions, please do what you can to answer them.
Remember, this is white noise. There should be no voices in here at all. Those voices you're hearing should not be there. You guys ready to help me with my question? Okay, white concept. Let's start. You ready? First question I have for you. In 2015, I passed away. Where did I go? When I passed away, where did I go? Where was I brought to? What's that area called? When I'm working with Brian, where is it? Here and here. It's them talking, so I'm trying to set them up with technology that'll be loud and crystal clear. It's gonna take some time, but that's what we're gonna work on next, hopefully, and get that, I call bits, voice to there. You will hear crystal clear voice, they will come. What is the area called that you go to when you pass away? Heaven, here. Why was I brought there so early? Tell me why I was brought there so early.
I heard that.
The Woodbury figures I saw, the little Woodbury figures, what do you call them? Were they angels? Yeah. How you can, if you listen closely, you'll hear. I know it's hard. It'll get clearer and clearer.
You just said something, if we could not call you back.
Yeah. You hot? You want the air? Air. Bring my phone, I can do it quick. Yeah, I've never been caught. There's getting a lot of people, and I do have to.
Was there a reason why Steve was brought back?
Feel by you. Who's the person that stood in front of me and gave me the message? Who's the person that stood in front of me and gave me that message? There's a tall figure that gave me a message to bring back. What's that person's name? Was I chosen to get that message? Can you tell me who stood in front of me and gave me that message?
It sounded like it.
I don't wanna reach for it,
Yeah.
but at that time, it's not.
That's not right.
Can you say it loud and clear, please? A lot of more are talking over each other like that. They get excited about us like this. Think about the guy outside your wall and you say hear us. That's your question. Can you see us?
I heard it. I thought. What'd you hear? You're so scared that before.
Or messages.
The message that was given to me, what am I supposed to do with it? What should I do with this message you gave me? I can't.
Yeah, of course not.
What are we made of? What are we made of? Why when we pass away, we really don't pass away? Where do we go? I'm gonna ask a difficult question. What do you do in heaven?
Something message, yeah.
I heard messages.
Yes or no question? No.
Speak smart.
It was like a whole,
It was a whole-
somebody was just going on and on. So sometimes take longer pauses to speak.
Okay.
If they're going,
Yeah.
anytime information comes through for you, it's important, right?
I put a mark on that, so I'll see what comes down.
question I have is yes or no answer. Are you happy that we found a way to speak to you?
Thinking about it.
You know, that's all I'm wondering. You know, I always thought we did this. Is that- Are they asking permission to answer that? And then, yeah, you can answer that. Is there a higher power you have to listen to there? It's like what he said.
Change.
Steve wants to know if there's rules to the communication. If there are, say the rules, please.
Yes, that's very bad.
There's nobody, something, it's a whole sentence.
Who just swept and sat on the floor? So you can see us.
Yeah. Very good, Steve. I guess he's What happened? Okay, what happened to Steve in 2015? What happened to Steve in 2015? Do you know?
What gifts did you give me to come back with?
No. I thought I heard cannot speak.
Very ritual.
Ritual, something like that.
What gifts did you give me to come back with?
I keep hearing angel when you say that. The second time I heard angel.
Is there angels with me? Last clear.
Standing up.
She's dead.
It was the message given to me so people start believing in you once again.
Yes.
Do you feel
Listen. It's important.
Do you feel the people, do you feel your people are losing faith? They're not gonna help.
Yeah. It's not What is he supposed to do now?
Get it better.
Yeah, that's- Give all his energy.
Are you gonna guide me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what Steve or what people call that experience he had? What experience? 2 words.
We're done experience.
Right away.
Yes.
It was quick, right?
Yeah. Very
Near-death
good.
experience.
Good cap.
Yeah. Can I stop?
Yeah.
I'll stop this one.
That was really good. Immediate.
Now, I'd like people to do this too also. If you have a question pertaining to me that I might not pick up, that you might want to ask, just raise your hand, I'll point at you, to ask that question, we'll listen to a response. So, and I knew you had one. Somebody told me, that's like,
Your angels are with you. What signs are they giving you to let them know that they're with you? Or what should you be looking for to let them, to let you know that they're with you? They could be sending you different things.
What the sign?
yeah. So what sign should I be looking for to know that you're here with me and guiding me?
You should know.
What signs should I be looking for, letting me know you're guiding me?
Something to believe in you.
My boss is something. Yep, I heard that one, yeah. Christ.
Can you tell me at what age I was chosen for this? Can you give me that number loud and clear, please?
Use the radio. Something like a watch.
When Steve was on the other side, and he looked at his watch, what was missing? Government.
Does anyone on that side have any questions for me?
Desperate people are.
Make better choices.
Yes, sir.
That's Steve.
Yeah. And be nice. Yes.
That's
That's it. Naturally, definitely.
So are you saying I'm not being nice?
Number 8. Steve, number 8. Oh, man.
I have a question. When I came back, I now hear Spirit talk to me. Is that a gift I was given?
very good.
So I heard so when you're hearing double sub or maybe that's yeah.
Maybe my angel number?
The yes button.
So when the doctor came to my room and said that I was talking to him, was that when I was talking to you? Is that when you was hearing?
The life, you deal with the life. Is
And I
what
heard
you
talking.
I'm gonna, I hear that. I'm gonna stop.
All right.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not a human antenna with all this metal in me. Yeah, that's fine.
What is Steve's mission? Does he have a mission?
So am I supposed to go, am I supposed to take this message to the church?
Many,
What's the best way to give your word out to the people? Your message. What's the best way to do that? Feel free to set up a question. You may think of something I didn't think of.
What was the subject matter or words that the doctor heard Steve say but wouldn't tell him? What was it about?
Scripture.
I think you're right. I'm sure.
What specific scripture did Steve say?
Can you give me another biblical name that you gave a message to in the past?
His choice. His choice.
For sure.
Who else have you given messages to? You understand what I'm saying? Noah built a what? What did you have Noah build? Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You're not gonna ask me to build a boat.
Right?
You know, yeah, man. Trucks back here.
What is he supposed to do with the words that he heard when he was in heaven? Preach. Oh, you're in heaven.
Is there anyone that can't hear or understand what's going through them on this?
Yeah. I heard it.
You can't hear it?
Well, I need help. I wonder if I wonder if perhaps.
When words and non-start this, it's really hard to understand. If you saw this at the beginning, now see how it is? It's so much clearer and amazing. Sometimes we have senses for it. You don't know what it's doing. I want to really work on this where that is actually working. I'm not feeling easier walking back and forth with each other.
Being
Would you mind if I worked with Ron and Waters on this project?
I hope I heard that.
I still like to know the name of the small figure that stood in front of me and gave me that message to bring back. Who was that?
I heard it. I heard it.
Now, when I was there, I know it's fine. I did not feel my mother, but I was given a sign that I believe my mother was there. Was my mother there?
Heard it. So we might do that. Yeah.
Now remember, when you heard that song before, when you first started, that's the problem.
I heard that some respect.
My mother taught me that, yes, I do have respect.
The word. I don't know the word. I lived in a
Is there something major gonna happen that I have to help someone with? Yeah.
What are you talking about?
The state's supposed supposed to help plan the funeral or stop watching happen?
Hope is moving.
Can you be more specific with your answer?
Yeah, we have been very stumped.
I could help them. with something. Again, are you gonna give me some kind of sign so I know that that's the person I'm supposed to help?
One day. We give you messages.
Will I receive another message?
Should he pay attention to his dreams? Does he receive messages in dreams? Do you know?
Yeah, yeah. No. Yeah. Does anyone have to use the bathroom or something? Yeah. Stop for a few seconds. Let everyone take a break and get a drink and we come back. I'll come back.
He's on the feed thing.
So we'll do a round two. Maybe see if we can get to more stuff, and then at whatever point Steve wants to open up the floor. Because a lot of times, other people's, well, we believe will say something or come through.
And Steve, with conversation, as we were taking our break, people do have questions.
Yeah, we're gonna get to them.
And they're good.
We got some questions we'll answer first, and then we'll hit those.
Super important that when we open the floor to questions, and this might sound like, duh, of course, but you'd be surprised how fast it gets forgotten, per se. If somebody goes, is Uncle Tommy here? And then right after that, somebody goes, is Aunt Jane here? And then a voice goes, yes. You don't know who they're answering. So if somebody asks something, let it breathe. Because sometimes it takes longer, sometimes as we heard before, but a couple of you heard that one answer.
Up in near guy?
Near death, yeah.
Yes.
Because you were so attentive, you caught it. It was immediate, so sometimes it happens right away, sometimes it takes a minute. But
Now, you're gonna hear things I can't from behind the speaker. So I'm gonna be relying on most of your answers when they come through.
And one of the reasons that you notice a lot of times they kind of look to her, lean towards Lord is she is by trade a court reporter. So you can have an audio engineer tell you how sound behaves and how to produce sound. But when they tell you that you're not hearing words and they're just artifacts of sound, and the person who's got a linguistic background, who listens to people talking at different speeds and cadences over each other, dialects, you name it. I'm leaning with the court reporter. She hears everything.
And she's got everything too.
She's not always right,
That's good.
but she hears everything.
That's like nice.
Yeah, and then we're.
Yeah.
Never once be in her courtroom to drive her nuts.
I live in her court. It's not easy. She's in the house. I won't say shit about her till she leaves. Where she is, she's gonna hear. So, all right, so this has been everybody a little surprised too so far with, from just out of white noise, what's possible. So you'll never see a ghost box do what we've done so far tonight. Just, the modality can't do it. Everything. It's like a-
Yeah.
like a screen sound, almost like a talking horse.
Somebody back here.
Yeah.
Kevin's doing the whole thing. I'm a little. If he doesn't have to do to me, don't share it. Right.
All right, so it's been running, I just muted it, so however they connect or come through the white noise, once it's going, we like to leave it on. We find, for those of you who may be getting a little tired, just as an FYI, this is a little bit of a sales pitch for what we're doing. We find that as the night goes on and it gets later, and some people kind of peter out, like that's when it gets good.
Yeah.
It seems to just keep getting better the longer the night goes on, so.
Like last night, we started what, 12 and went to 3?
3.
3 in the morning, we're like, we gotta get up in the morning.
Yeah, I'm still starting.
That's what we had to take a nap.
The chair, it's like,
I never take naps. It's like, I need to take a
I'm
nap.
taking one last night, almost in the chair. Check this light, he stayed in that chair.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I never say that. I said 45 minutes.
I've been there right now. All right,
Okay, we're ready.
so here goes. Everything should be right where it left off. You got it. Good. All right, so for those who came through and left it connected, like I promised, we're going to come back online. We'll be able to hear you in a second. So Steve has more questions. If anybody affiliated with somebody in the room wants to come through, name your person, let us know, and we will continue from here. We're back. David, first thing I heard. Is your name David, or are you talking about this David?
Who's sending it to David?
The reason something.
Is there something you want to talk about?
David knows that.
Oh, man. A little muffled.
Do you have a message for David? Or-
Is one of the reasons you send Steve back to help people like myself, that's like myself? Yes. Answer the question I asked him. I asked him, can I communicate to thought? He said yes. Instant, that's how it happens.
Hold on to me.
With technology the way it is, should I be working with Cordes and Ron to make this so clear they can understand every sentence?
Do you know the name of this project that we're doing with Steve? What do we call it?
What is the people now today believe in? Does Jesus think the people here have lost faith with him?
He's worried. Yeah, I can work. That should work.
How many of you are trying to come to the class now? How many?
Is there a way that only one can talk? When I was up in heaven, the message was given to me, and you said it was Jesus, and I heard his voice one more time. Can you do it now? I heard call me. If Jesus is here, can you say right now, I'm here?
I made my peace.
Very cool.
That was good.
Very cool.
Can you say I'm here?
And this is
Henry?
Henry, heard that.
The day I passed away, can you tell me what it was doing outside?
It was one of those.
Be respectful.
Yeah, yeah. Now, he's saying be respectful to other spirits on the other side, that we can't hear what they're saying. That's all I'm wondering. I'm hearing that, like, yeah, one of them keeps saying, I'm gonna say this, no, be respectful, you know? That's why I want you to say that. How we talk to each other.
If Steve had angels around him, are they family members or something else? Yeah, something like that. I think that Elizabeth, but it didn't quite sound like that. So maybe you have- What kind of a heart attack did Steve Barry have? I think I heard it, I really don't. Can you repeat it? What kind of heart attack did Steve Barry have? What kind of heart attack did he have?
What is the type of heart attack he had called? What do we call it? You can say don't know if you don't know, it's all right.
It's right there with the maker.
Yeah, I'm telling you, whenever I was, yeah. It's there twice, it's there twice. It's there twice.
We record in 15 to 30-minute increments, we record. If we hear something we want to find, we stop sooner, so we see a shorter file, we know that's what it is.
Am I to work with Boris and Ron Lennis to make people be able to hear your voices a lot clearer?
That won't hurt. And Tony and Sheree Rathman too. We like that too,
Yeah.
because they're not here. We feel bad. If you know our partners in Arizona, can you say Rathman? Say Rathman, please, if you know our partners.
Okay. Save the kids, is what I learned. Save the kids. Okay, Steve.
Are there
I can see it.
Are there kids from the orphanage?
Stephen Barry, you hear that?
What do you want Steve Barry to do? What do you want to be done through Steve? Something nice. Yeah. I wasn't sure. What did you hear? I'm sorry,
Trust me, when you listen to the recording, you're gonna hear a lot of it.
Did you ask? Never remember.
Yeah.
I know that I asked about working through you. That's how you asked. Yeah. Is there a significance to the watch that Steve saw when he had it?
Difficult.
Technically, this would be something like that.
Difficult.
Was the watch without hands or a mechanism meant to show that there's no time? Was that symbolic of no time?
When you pass here, you pass away, what's the first thing that happens?
Judge.
So, for Christ.
I thought I heard desperate, right,
Okay.
desperate, right.
That's what I felt.
There's a book in that church here. Do you know the name of that book? What's it called?
It wasn't.
Moses came back to what?
Did you, it was very dark. I thought our next person.
If you have a question, ask it loud enough so the recorder picks it up. If you say it too softly, then we get an answer. You don't have an answer without a question. So. Yeah, that's. If anybody wants to ask, raise your hand. Steve will select it.
Is Malcolm, Steve, Sky?
What did it say? It was either one of those two things.
Is Malcolm, Steve's spirit guide? Yes, yes, you guys have it. Yes.
Just for clarification, if that's correct, if you heard you correctly, say Malcolm.
Malcolm. Yep.
I heard Steve, Malcolm.
I heard it.
Hey, Malcolm. And then one question. There it goes. Now, let's say it again. He's right.
You know,
Is there any other ones here from anyone? There is no focus. Yeah. Name your person if you have a loved one here.
I have a gym. I'm like, gym. Do you have something, James again? Sorry. Do you have something for James you want to say to him?
Yeah.
Does someone have a message for Jim?
No, it's a gym.
When Jim communicates with Spirit here, how does he do it? Do you know what method he uses? You heard it right away.
Where's Val?
Could you repeat that one more time, please? What is his method?
Table.
Some shit.
Did you hear Jim to communicate with you through the table? Yes. Is there someone here that's the girl next?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, it is, then, yes, said yes. Yes, it is.
Please say the name of just so we're correct. We know we're hearing you right. If it's Joey, say that, please. Another short file
But then you're not the I think you touched yours, right?
You took my necklace off.
Who took her necklace off?
Oh, is that real? What is this?
Yeah. What happened?
I had a neighbor that just passed away. It's a
No. He said neighbor?
Let up. Yeah. Oh my God.
No way. I don't even know if he knows that.
You said it was one of the neighbors.
Sure, that's my neighbor's name. I'm trying to figure out. There you go, remember. Can you tell me what the neighbor's last name was? Did somebody hear Mike? Can you say Mike and clear your mouth? He's always with us. How much? Yeah, that's what.
Told you it's better the longer you go.
If someone gets sued up,
Never gets old.
Yeah.
If Joey is here, what is missing from my room upstairs? What's missing?
I did hear it quick.
What is missing from the room upstairs? Mine.
Toothpaste.
Toothpaste. You hear that too? What toy is missing from the room upstairs?
Think about my
Yeah.
Who puts those messages in my head?
Accomplish this?
something like that.
What, say it?
Yeah.
Just those words? Steve wants you to say Scooby-Doo. Can you
Yeah, I did too. Me too.
And then.
I know it's stupid, but can you say it?
And you loud, if you say Scooby-Doo loud and slow, we will all clap. Loud and slow, can you do it? Can we do it?
Yeah.
You know,
We're all like seals.
When we get excited like that, does that help you, that energy?
Are you all talking like this constantly?
I love you.
Are you around us all the time? How do you hear our messages? How do you receive them? How do you receive our question? You just said in your head?
Yeah.
In your head? Yes. How do you receive our messages in your head?
Do you want to take any questions from the live stream?
Ask me any questions on that.
Can you see that? Yes, like that.
Stay with me if you so.
Who made Earth?
Nobody.
Who created Earth? It was a simple question. We don't have to fight about it now.
When we pray to God, does God hear our prayers?
That's what you said.
Thank you. Here's a prayer. What's your favorite prayer? Is there a book about that? Yeah.
Was there a prayer that Esther said that you say every day?
Yeah, that was clear.
Do you know what Esther's Jewish name was? If you do, can you say it? Hadassah. I heard it. It was very low. It was Hadassah. That's her Jewish name was Hadassah.
I asked her again. Who created Earth?
You heard that too?
Yeah.
Again?
Yes.
You want to still ask about the message that you spoke to?
Yeah, can you tell me the message that the doctor heard that he never told me? What was the message that the doctor never told me?
It could have been.
When Steve was on the other side where you are, he spoke, the doctor heard him here. What did he say?
I heard the word worthy, yeah.
Can you say my full name again? I keep hearing like someone saying, like someone else over there.
Tony, our partner in Arizona, Tony Sriracha, sometimes when they ask profound or questions that are meaningful like that, they say they hear voices in the back telling the prominent ones, shut up, don't say it.
Yeah,
He says it a lot. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know, Mr. Rasmussen? What was the first word?
Yeah, I heard the children in Christ. Yeah.
I don't know, did you share it on our page, but I can't share it.
There's nobody in chat right now.
Nobody? Okay.
Are there things that we're just not meant to know while we're here on Earth?
Who's the guy that's remember screaming to
Why do you mention children?
my God, you help children?
Is it to help the children of God? For all children? Are we all children of God?
I wanted to say,
Well, yeah.
can you give us more information about the children?
When I was up in Women and I was walking, I saw ripples. What was I walking on? What was I walking on that made the ripples?
Yeah.
The area I was in when I passed away, what area did I go to again?
Something is.
What was the area I was in when I passed away? Where did I go? What's it called?
There's some bitches.
So you're saying, what's his name?
That's all. Was Steve in purgatory?
Yeah, I thought it was like, Steve was in a unique situation or something.
You see that? It's just like that.
Is there a word that we use for where Steve was?
This is right on point. Did someone just move it? Can you move it again? Just like Going back down. Yeah. Who moved this device up? I did. Can you do it again? Can you move it again, please? I'm like looking at him. Did you see what I did? I'm like, we're sitting right here. You see
My neck was fell off, so I didn't say anything. The mice can hold down the table.
Can you move my straw? Is that Dixie, are you here? Who moved the mouse? Who moved this? I swear, no plain thing. White went up, down, and I looked at him like, "Did you see that?" He's like, "No."
Look at the screen.
It might be even on the video. Maybe.
Who's Dixie?
Dixie, you jump here? Stop. Is he Scott, you're here. Can you move that?
Yeah. I doesn't trust me.
Scott! Wait. It's a question. Scott, you're here. What did you mail me in the mail? What did you make? Scott, what product did you make that you sent to me?
Life.
Moonshine. He made homemade moonshine. And he shipped it from California in a dog food box. We missed it, Chuck. We missed you, Dixie, Chuck. I really want me to do this. Oh my God, you don't want.
Bitch, you didn't shoot that, right?
Scott was probably say something. Wait, hey Scott, what's your nickname?
Crazy?
You're crazy. Got two nicknames. Scott, my nickname is Scooby-Doo. What was yours? Can you get Scott to come to this, please? Scott Grunwald, what was your nickname? Scott, I'd send you in the mail.
Kathleen. I was like, who's calling Kathleen? I'm like, she's here.
Grace.
What did Pam send you in the mail? You tried to do it, Derek, or something like that? It was a joke, Derek.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, let's be personal now, guys. We don't have that much time.
Hi, somebody call for Kathleen? Yeah, I know.
Bob, are you around? Are you here tonight?
That's what I thought I heard too.
Diet. No. That's the rules right now. That's something. Yeah. You're Are you with your cousin? We're all present. They were smoking. They always tell me to stop. They really did tell me Florence? Mom, you went Florence? Probably. I'm sorry. Mom, you went Florence? All of us. All of us. You want to ask one before you're done? Yeah. Is JR there with you? Yes. Is JR's there? They are listening. He's here. He's here. It's JR, what's mom's name? What's your mom's name? JR, what's mom's name? Did you run out of energy today? They like seeing them. You should know. Okay. Can everyone silence themselves for a moment just to ask one question, please? Sure, thank you. If JR is there, can you please tell me your mom's name? Is it Barbara? Is it Barbara? It's a neighbor.
Is there anyone else you recognize in this room? That you want to speak to? Your name and person? In the basement. In the basement.
North of the church, the county outfit.
That's where you pass. Oh, wow. Okay, that's the basement.
Yeah, really split it.
This is what it does. It's split like a bench. JR, if that's you, are you still hanging out in the basement?
And she was saying, she's thinking about.
Oh, that's right. Think about pictures. ID. I thought I heard bullshit. What legally, this is Kathy, are you there with us? What?
It's funny because I just heard the boy. We were talking about something. You guys know
Somebody talk about pictures in the Dad, if you're with us, can you tell us what my daughter's name is?
it's almost like it's like, yeah, like it's starting.
Dad, can you say what my daughter's name is? Dad, can can you say what my daughter's name is? My dad's always saying that. That was wild. What's the Jubilee accent?
How many times a year on the Hoover
Mr. Moore, with this evening?
Yeah, the baby. Protect them from being. I heard something before about medical. Obviously, some they're obvious. To make up the last one. So how did Thursday? What did you hear?
Oh my gosh, I wonder if we're talking about Jackson. Because I've been asking about it.
Well, I can't remember what you said. I think so. As we had him the phone, I heard. I swear I heard James. I heard James. That's my son. I heard it twice. Jackson and Jameson. Those are nice names.
Thank you.
Everyone has a good next week.
Hey, JR, if you're here, are you watching for Jackson? My neighbor across the street had a chihuahua. I said, your dog. We just had a conversation after about the
Yeah, but they did before. Are you talking about a dog or a person?
I'm the same for her, my name is Jason. I can't even get up.
We're gonna, we'll take another break and. Just
Alright.
we can
Yeah,
stretch
it's
out.
totally. Okay, so what, we had a conversation for like 15, just 1 minute now.
All right, we're gonna leave it on but muted.